pledge is supported by cutting-edge science, including WCS's upcoming 50 Reefs Plus analysis and early backing from Bloomberg philanthropists and the Global Environment Facility. In a show of unified support, the Belize Communications Workers Union, Belize Energy Workers Union, and Belize Water Service Workers Union, collectively known as the utility unions, have publicly aligned themselves with the Belize National Teachers Union, BNTU, in demanding a swift resolution to ongoing salary disputes. The unions issued a joint statement emphasizing the need for an immediate and equitable settlement to address teachers' long-standing grievances over stagnant wages and the widening gap of economic inequality. They highlighted that these issues are rooted in prolonged salary stagnation, which has persisted despite rising inflation rates. The statement also pointed to systemic disparities within the public service, noting that lower-tier workers, including teachers, have been disproportionately affected compared to their counterparts in higher administrative or corporate positions, especially regarding salary adjustments and tax privileges. These circumstances directly contradict the promises made to Belizeans during election campaigns and undermine the core principle of fairness in governance, the unions declared. They emphasized that addressing these salary concerns is not solely a matter of justice, but also a strategic move to invest in Belize's future development. The unions further argued that fair compensation for educators is essential for strengthening the nation's education system, which in turn fuels economic growth. Investing in our teachers benefits the entire country by improving the quality of education, boosting local economic activity, and increasing government revenue through taxes, their statement read. Calling on all involved parties, the utility unions urged stakeholders to return to the negotiating table promptly, aiming to reach a fair and timely agreement that reflects the importance of teachers' contributions and the need for economic fairness across the public sector. The United Democratic Party, UDP, faces ongoing internal discord, with interim party leader Ugo Pat publicly calling for a boycott of an upcoming National Party Council NPC meeting. In a press release issued today, Pat emphasized that the conflict within the party remains unresolved and highlighted his efforts to address it. Pat's call comes amid escalating tensions surrounding the scheduling of the NPC meeting set for Saturday, June 14th. The interim leader had previously requested that the gathering be postponed to facilitate a comprehensive review of the delegates list, a move aimed at ensuring transparency and fairness within the party's internal processes. In a formal letter dated yesterday, Pat addressed acting party chairman Alberto August, urging him to delay the meeting. Pat, serving as interim leader, explained that postponing the meeting was essential for both himself and August to thoroughly review the delegate roster before proceeding with the scheduling gathering. However, Pat reports that August declined to accede to this request. According to Pat's statement released this morning, August refused to do so, leading the interim leader to publicly inform NPC members that the meeting at UDP headquarters in Belize City would proceed despite his objections. Pat emphasized that the meeting was being held against his wishes and without the deferment he requested. In light of this development, Pat appealed directly to NPC members, urging them not to attend the meeting scheduled for this weekend. He assured party supporters that efforts would be made to reschedule a legitimate NPC gathering at the earliest opportunity, emphasizing the importance of transparency and proper internal procedures. But does Pat have the authority to request the delay of the meeting or even to appeal to the NPC members not to attend the meeting? According to Moses Shine Barrow, he does not. The legal representatives of Moses Shine Barrow have issued a formal cease and desist letter to Ugo Pat, who recently declared himself the party's interim leader. The communication, dated May 16 and reissued today, firmly asserts that Barrow remains the legitimate and duly elected leader of the UDP, a status he obtained through consecutive national conventions held in March 2022 and August 2023. The letter addresses Pat's recent call for a boycott of Saturday's National Party Council (NPC) meeting, emphasizing that Pat's role within the party is solely as the first deputy leader. It underscores that there is no recognized interim leader of the UDP and that any such designation would be ultra vires beyond the legal powers granted unless proper procedures outlined in the UDP Constitution are followed. Central to the dispute is Article 9(7) of the UDP Constitution, which the Barrow camp interprets as mandating that the leadership of the party is only determined at a national convention. The legal team pointed out that Barrow's resignation, tendered on March 17th, was never formally accepted by any party authority, nor with his office declared vacant by the NPC, a constitutional requirement for leadership changes. Furthermore, the communication highlights that Barrow revoked his resignation on April 23rd, making him the current leader per the party's constitutional provisions. Any attempt to remove him now, the letter states, would require a two-thirds majority vote at a specially convened national convention as stipulated under Article 9(7). Adding weight to Barrow's position, the letter references a recent High Court ruling, Claim 661 of 2025, which deemed actions taken by the Alliance for Democracy's convention to oust him as null and void, reinforcing his ongoing leadership. The legal counsel warns Pat and others against any further attempts to improperly displace Barrow, warning that such actions could invite additional legal consequences. The correspondence was sent by Pitts and Associates law firm, signaling the seriousness of the internal legal battle unfolding within the UDP as the party navigates its leadership crisis. And while this particular internal battle is between Ugo Pat and Moses Shine Barrow, the leader of the opposition, Tracy Tager Panton, finds herself in the middle of the turmoil. On a Facebook post, Panton, the Albert Action Committee, the Albert Care Team, and the wider UDP Albert family publicly thanked Ugo Pat for standing up for what is described as fair, right, and just. We loudly applaud your stance to uphold your democratic principles and values that are foundational to the very existence of our great United Democratic Party. It is always the right time to do the right thing. We now stand united in purpose. Together we will be the robust opposition that this country not only wants, but desperately needs at this time, said Panton. At the end of the post, Panton thanked Pat once more and assured him that he has her full support. And if you think this episode of the UDP saga ends with Panton supporting Pat, then think again. Acting chairman of the United Democratic Party, UDP, Alberto Agas, has responded to Ugo Pat, who asked party delegates to boycott Saturday's National Party Council meeting. Agas says that the UDP Constitution does not grant the party leader, any interim leader, or a deputy leader the power to direct the party chairman in such matters. Article 7(6) of the party's constitution clearly states the National Party Council shall meet at least once every 3 months. Meeting shall be called by the chairperson. August says that given that the last NPC meeting occurred on January 25, 2025, the upcoming meeting is not only valid but overdue. August also recounted efforts to seek legal guidance on party matters, noting that although Pat initially suggested consulting attorney Aldo Salazar, no progress was made. Aga says he took the initiative to contact Salazar himself after failed attempts. However, he stressed that the authority to determine NPC membership lies solely with the Central Executive Committee as outlined in Article 82E of the UDP Constitution. He further explained that a meeting of the Central Executive Committee was convened on May 18, 2025 at the UDP headquarters in Belize City. Despite Pat's absence, first due to scheduling conflicts and later despite being offered the option to attend virtually, the meeting proceeded as planned. August says that during the meeting, 4 major resolutions were passed: the reinstatement of all expelled party members, the scheduling of special constituency conventions for all 31 constituencies beginning in July 2025, the setting of a national convention for the first week of October 2025, and the continuation of the current leadership executive unit. A new one is elected at the national convention. August confirmed that the required 14-day notice for the NPC meeting was issued on May 28th and that all members have been informed and consulted accordingly. August concluded by telling Pat, "The party has been going through hell for over 5 years. We went into the March 2025 general elections totally divided. This division must come to an end. Since the recent resignation of the chairman, I have been engaged over time in the effort to unite our party. We are now seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. Please do not convert that glimmer of hope into the headlight of an approaching train. While it is our desire to have you in attendance, not attending the scheduled meeting of the NPC is totally up to you. All we ask is that you seek not to usurp the authority of the Central Executive Committee, the party chairman, and by extension, the National Convention of the United Democratic Party." Coming up next, Belizean pilot Howell Green celebrated as international hero for surviving hijacking and demonstrating resilience. Stay tuned.
On the pitch, we play as a team. Off the field, we protect ourselves. Vaccine save lives.
Measles doesn't just affect one child, it spreads fast, disrupts learning, friendships, and irreplaceable moments.
I work with my hands, but this message comes from my heart. Protect your family.
You might have seen me on social media before, but have you seen measles? Trust me, we don't want to. Protect yourself.
I've been a practicing pediatrician in Belize for the last 20 years. And through that entire time, we have never seen measles as a disease in our country. To the parents who have vaccinated their children, excellent. We have nothing to worry about. To the ones who are thinking about it, please get it done as soon as possible. Vaccination do save lives.
Hi, my name is Louis and I'm the Rotary Club of Salinas.
Olá, meu nome é Débora, sou natural de Belo Horizonte.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Mi nombre es Luis Jesús Galván.
I am Inga Jackson and today I'm going to donate blood.
Bueno, hoy es día de ir a donar sangre.
E hoje eu vou efetuar minha doação de sangue.
Pues el día de hoy decidí salvar unas cuantas vidas.
Hoy me toca.
Vim aqui no Minas doar sangue.
Vamos a ir a donar.
Just arrived at the lab for blood donation.
Acabo de llegar al Centro Regional de Hemoterapia.
Então, agora eu cheguei na parte mais importante.
Esta parte es donde ya estamos listos para donar.
So here am I giving blood.
Oigan, pues ya voy saliendo.
Bueno, pues ya me encuentro saliendo del proceso, todo fue excelente.
Bueno, recién llego de donar sangre, la primera experiencia.
Ya van más de 4 meses que doné por última vez.
De 2004 que vengo haciendo esto periódicamente.
that feeling that you know you are able to help someone.
Porque a partir daqui minha bolsa de sangue vai para salvar algumas vidas.
No te esperes a necesitarlo, ayúdalo, dona sangre y salva vidas.
Um abraço.
Belizean hero pilot Howell Grange has recently been highlighted on international media as a story of survival and resilience. It was Holy Thursday on April 17th. The Tropic Air captain was flying a routine flight from Corozal to San Pedro, carrying 18 persons on board when the plane was hijacked by a 49-year-old American citizen and military veteran, Akinyela Taylor. Taylor stabbed 2 passengers in mid-flight as he demanded the flight leave Belize. In an act of heroism, the pilot was able to outwit the armed hijacker. However, not before the armed assailant turned on him and gravely injured Grange before being fatally shot by an armed passenger, allowing a safe landing in Ladyville. Grange spent several days in intensive care here at home. However, a full recovery was still a long way away from a heroic pilot. News of the attack made its way to Dr. Richard, a chiropractor in West Seneca, New York, where Grange is now receiving intensive rehabilitation. Through a family connection, Grange was introduced to Dr. Richard's clinic, where a custom high-intensity recovery plan was put in place. The program included multiple daily chiropractic and physical therapy sessions, along with additional recovery treatments. In speaking with international media, Grange describes his recovery as miraculous and his experience eye-opening. Grange is quoted as stating, "You never know how you're gonna act in an emergency until you're in an emergency. And I think I did very well. I think I did really, really well, actually," he adds. "I forgive the guy because I don't know what he was going through in life, but I forgive him, and that's the only way I could move forward." Grange is nearing the end of his recovery program, with his doctors reporting he has already regained 95% of his physical function. The Department of Transport, DOT, reminds all owners and drivers of dump trucks and other vehicles transporting aggregate materials such as sand, gravel, stones, or other debris that it is legally required under Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Act, Chapter 230, to properly secure and cover all loads using tarpaulins or similar coverings. Regulation 126.6 of the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Regulation states the driver of a vehicle who fails to use a tarpaulin or similar cover when transporting sand, gravel, stone, debris, or like materials may be fined up to $500 or be imprisoned for 6 months or to both fine and term of imprisonment if convicted in a court of summary jurisdiction. This reminder follows an increase in public complaints regarding unsecured materials falling from trucks while in transit, causing damage to other vehicles, especially windshields, and creating dangerous road conditions. These incidents not only endanger public safety, but also contribute to road litter and damage to public infrastructure. Effective immediately, the department will intensify enforcement operations to ensure that 1. All aggregate and debris loads are securely covered. 2. No vehicle exceeds the maximum allowable gross weight. And 3. All drivers and operators comply with road safety laws. The DOT emphasizes that failure to properly secure loads is both unlawful and dangerous. Commercial truck operators and construction companies are urged to ensure that their drivers are fully aware of their legal responsibilities and adhere to proper safety practices. The public is encouraged to report violations or file complaints through the Ministry of Constitution, Religious Affairs, Indigenous Affairs, and Transportation hotline at 613-3104 via WhatsApp message only. Safety is non-negotiable. We urge all operators to adhere to these regulations to protect all road users. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Hola, ¿estás en tu teléfono móvil ahora mismo, navegando las redes sociales, escuchando la radio o viendo televisión? ¿Alguna vez te has detenido a pensar qué es lo que le da energía a mi dispositivo? La electricidad es esencial para nuestra vida diaria, dando energía a nuestros hogares, negocios, transporte y por supuesto esa serie que no puedes dejar de ver. Pero, ¿cómo funciona todo esto? En esta temporada de What's and Whys of Energy, te llevamos detrás de cámaras, hablando con nuestros expertos y trayéndote novedades y respuestas a tus preguntas más importantes sobre la energía. Mi nombre es Emanuel Pech y te invito a acompañarnos en vivo por Facebook y prepárate para ver la energía desde una nueva perspectiva. Dale like, comparte y síguenos para ser parte de la conversación.
Belize Electricity Limited, providing you safe and reliable power when you need it.
Dr. Honorable Louisa Bani, Minister of Constitution and Religious Affairs, Indigenous Affairs and Transportation, and Chester Williams, Chief Executive Officer, convened two important meetings with the Key Cocker Traffic Committee and the Ambergris Key Traffic Committee to address pressing traffic concerns on both islands directly. Dr. Honorable Zabani and CEO Williams sought to gain first-hand knowledge of the specific challenges contributing to traffic congestion and other related issues experienced by the committees. Joining the Minister and CEO Williams at the meetings were key officials from the ministry, as well as a key representative from the Ministry of Rural Transformation, Community Development, Labor and Local Government, including Leon Gentle, Chief Transport Officer, Peter Williams, Deputy Chief Transport Officer, Anna Logue, Director of Policy, Planning and Research, and Clifford King, Director of Local Government. During the productive session, members of the traffic committees articulated their concerns and provided valuable insights into the complexities of managing traffic flow on their respective islands. The ministry representatives expressed their appreciation for the proactive engagement of the committee members and assured them that their concerns were being taken seriously. Following a thorough review of the information gathered, the ministry will develop and present recommendations to address the identified traffic congestion concerns. These recommendations will focus on practical and impactful solutions to improve traffic flow, enhance safety, and promote sustainable transportation practices in Key Cocker and San Pedro. Honorable Marconi Leal, Jr., Minister of State to Foreign Trade, led Belize's delegation at the 68th regular meeting of the Council for Trade and Economic Development, quoted, held on June 10 to the 11, 2025 in Georgetown, Guyana. The 68th meeting sought, among other things, to further the discussions on the implementation of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy CSME, with several key topics on the agenda. These included presentations on rethinking Caribbean tourism and the exposure of Caribbean countries to U.S. policies, the free movement of skilled nationals within the CARICOM region, trade in goods with particular attention to changes in import duties that is, on commodities important to Belize, such as grains and citrus concentrate juices, approval of CARICOM regional standards and codes on hazardous chemicals, updates on the pertinent developments in the World Trade Organization and the multilateral trading system, as well as discussions on the region's position through greater coordination and a firm defense of special and differential treatment as a permanent feature of the system, certification and approval of the partial scope agreement between the government of Belize and the Republic of El Salvador, a crucial issue for Belize. Several member states consulted with a view to provide additional support to Belize. The court agreed that Belize will hold bilateral meetings at the ministerial level to give further consideration to the agreement. Foreign Trade Minister of State Layal was supported by Mr. Andy Sutherland, Director General for Foreign Trade, and Ms. Tricia Gideon, the Deputy Director General. Minister Layal, Her Excellency Gail Miller Garnett, the Director General, and the Deputy Director General also met with Brian Curtin, Executive Director of the World Trade Center, WTC, and Komal R. Samuru, Chairman of Demerara Distillers, to discuss trade opportunities presented by the new WTC in Georgetown, Guyana. As Guyana's first WTC, it aims to serve as a regional hub to boost trade in sectors such as agriculture, tourism, and manufacturing. Minister Layal emphasized the potential for increased investment and trade, while the Director General highlighted the WTC's role in expanding regional value chains, diversifying trade, and attracting investment. The Belize delegation expressed interest and extended an invitation to the Belize Invest Summit scheduled for September 3rd to the 5th, 2025. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Thursday, June 12th, here on Ctv3 News and Face FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at Ctv3 News BZ. From all of us here at Ctv3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.